everyone, this is Emery and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to figure out what your best career is by channeling a message from the universe. What we're going to be looking for are some general traits, perhaps categories, or even specific professions that would be really good for you to pursue. This reading is great if you're looking to make a change, or if you just want to adapt your current career, or you just want to explore your curiosity to see what you are capable of. All you have to do to receive this message is pick one of the piles in front of you, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and to help you make that decision, I'm going to show you each of the illustrations on the card piles, and whichever one calls to you the most, that is your intuition telling you there is a message for you in that pile. Some of you may be drawn to more than one pile, but it's perfectly okay if you are just attracted to one. So let's see what each of those piles trigger for you, what your intuition is saying. Be sure to pay attention. All right, the first pile is the elephant. The second pile is this dog. The third pile is a goat. And the fourth pile is a donkey. So whichever pile triggered your intuition, you can go ahead and select the timestamp in the video below, or you can check the description or my pinned comment to go directly to your reading with the timestamp. I look forward to seeing you in your reading. Hello pile 1, my elephant pile. Let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to shuffle for 3 cards from the Light Seers Tarot deck just to get a general idea of any career categories, skills, or exact professions that you need to be aware of. So, universe, what does pile 1 need to know? What does pile 1 need to know? Your first card is the Ten of Wands. This tells me that your job mate, that a possible career for you would be very difficult, but it is a job of immense responsibilities and passions. Let's get your second card. Your second card is the Two of Wands. This card, because of the globe here and the sky, makes me think of a very research-oriented career, perhaps in academia. It could also be related to travel. Let's get your third card. Your third card is the Seven of Cups. This is about multiple opportunities. It can also be about dealing with multiple people. It is a job that can go very wrong or very right. It does mean that you need to have some really great discretion. So as I am looking at these 3 cards with these 2 wand suits and this, which is about passion, and the third card, which is Cups, which is emotions and social relationships, I definitely think that you are going to be, your best career would have you working with other people, or if you aren't working directly with other people, you are working for the good of other people. And this job, it's definitely going to be something with a lot of responsibility. I'm thinking politics, academia, teaching, social work. There could also be some creative careers as well. For example, like a pop singer or somebody with a large audience and someone who's very connected to their audience to where there's a lot of emotional labor, I definitely see in these 3 cards emotional labor, passion, perhaps creativity, and emotional awareness. So what you are looking for in your best career is definitely one where you are on your A game, one where you are working for the good of other people, and it has to be a job that's not just a paycheck. Some of these careers would pay very well. It has to be a job that matters. It matters to you, it matters to other people, it is of great consequence. So let's look at the Starseed Oracle deck to figure out any important messages about your life path from the universe that you need to know in order to pursue this career to your best advantage. So universe, what does pile 1 need to know about pursuing their life path and manifesting their best career? And I'm going to pull 3 cards from this deck. Your first card is Jump In. This has the wisdom message of Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. This could be a message from the universe that if there's something you're really interested in trying, don't be so concerned about getting a whole bunch of education or waiting for permission. Just try applying and seeing what happens. A really good example of this would be teaching. Not particularly that you would be good at teaching, but there are many countries where there are programs for people who have a degree in something, but they don't have a degree in teaching, and there is a program to help them get in the classroom even without that teaching degree, and they learn on the job. That's something that I'm talking about here. If there is a back door or some way to sneak into the career that you want to, you should consider taking it. You may actually really enjoy just throwing yourself into it and learning as you go. Let's get the next card. Your next card is the 7 Star Sisters with the wisdom message of birthing creations, tapestry of life, and expression. So you really do need some sort of career that lets you either be creative or speak your mind. You don't want to have to censor yourself or hide your personality in your daily career. You want to be yourself, express yourself, say what needs to be said. So for some of you, for example, social work, teaching, academia, it would be a great way to channel your creativity, but for others, you would, and for politics too, you would feel like you can't say what you really mean. So you need to really consider whatever it is with your career that you would feel comfortable there, that you wouldn't feel limited. So that is definitely one way that you can figure out how to limit your options. What actually does limit you, that is the type of career that you should perhaps avoid. Pick the career where you are going to feel most liberated, because you deserve to be yourself in your career. Most of us spend hours and hours a day in whatever career we find ourselves in. Let's get your third card. All right, your third card in this deck is Weight of the World, Boundaries, Let It Go, It's Not Yours to Carry. So I did say earlier that your career would be one with a lot of responsibilities, and I still think that's true. However, whatever career that you choose to go, you need to make sure that it's one that you can basically turn off or walk away from when you're not on the job. You need to be able to stop thinking about the job when you are in your personal life. So you really need to think about what you're triggered by, or what really makes you just lose track of everything, where you get anxious. That is the type of career that you should avoid. You want to be able to be fully invested in your job, but when you clock out, you want to actually be able to clock out. So I do think it would really help you to practice careers that you're interested in. Maybe research like political issues surrounding it, or look into videos about a day in a life and ask yourself, can you imagine yourself in that job, and would you feel comfortable in that job? Would you be able to clock out? Because you would be surprised. There are some jobs where even though you'd really like what you're doing, even though you'd feel really fulfilled with the job, you know that at the end of the day, it's going to haunt you. You don't want your job to haunt you. You want your job to really fill you with purpose, achievement, and not exactly comfort, but feeling like you can actually make a change. If you don't feel like you have control in your career, if you don't feel like you can change things, that's not the one for you. So far, what I am seeing, you definitely need to pick a career that you're passionate about. You need to pick a career that asks you to be responsible. You need to pick a career that either has you working with other people or working for people, but it needs to be a career where you can express yourself. It also needs to be a career where you can clock out. And perhaps this is why the universe is saying it would benefit you to just jump in. It may take you a few tries before you find the career, or if you're currently in a career and you're trying to modify it to look more like this spread, to modify the project to embrace this energy more. You need to try things out. You need to have that lived experience. That way you will be able to use that experience to inform you as to whether this career is best, because I don't think you're going to be able to read a career description and think, oh yeah, that's totally my career. I can like take a degree program and apply for a job and do nothing else and not have to worry. It's just going to be a fit right away. No, you need to have some sort of day-to-day exposure of this career before you're able to really decide if it's for you. I do know, for example, a lot of people that want to go in teaching will go to college for 3 or 4 years, and then as soon as they get to their student teaching experience, even though they've been studying for 3 years, they realize they made a mistake and they have to change their education path. That happens to some people. You can be really passionate about something, but until you get that day-to-day exposure, you won't really know what it's like. And I think I see in this spread that you have some ideals about what you want to do, and some of those ideals and visions may be shattered. That's not a bad thing. You're going to learn something from that. For example, I went into teaching, and though I left teaching because of a disability, I realized that I greatly disliked how little power teachers had, how easy it was for things to go wrong in a classroom just because you can't remove distractions. And one thing I like about being a tarot reader is that I can help people, I can teach people, but they're more focused. So that's what I'm talking about here. You need to figure out what it is beyond the generalizations of a career that you need to know about in order to figure out if it's a fit for you. For you, the devil is in the details, and the details are going to be revealing. So let's get to the next deck, which is the Work Your Light Oracle deck. What does the universe have to say about this career? Universe, what does pile 1 need to know? What does pile 1 need to know? All right, your first card is protection with the wisdom message of call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. I think this is the universe telling you that you have ideas about what you want to do, but you have been influenced by society and you're not actually thinking in terms of things that you would enjoy, things that would be fulfilling. You're thinking in achievements that other people value, but that you don't value. So you really need to get to know yourself more. You need to look at what you do on a day-to-day basis. You need to figure out what you like doing, what stresses you out, and then you need to compare that to your goals, your dreams, and figure out if there's a mismatch, because I think there is a mismatch. A career that you think would be a good fit for you, it may not actually be a good fit for you because your desire for that career isn't based on your own preferences. It's based off of how other people want you to succeed. So let's get your second card. Universe, what do they need to know? This card is you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Now, for some of you, this is a sign that your current career or job is the right path. You don't need to make any changes. But what I'm really seeing for most of you in this card is that you don't really have to learn something new. You don't have to go on this grand discovery. Something about how you're currently living reveals what it is that you want to do. For example, someone who spends their afternoons after work or after school drawing may not realize that they are meant to be in a creative career. Instead, they're so focused on becoming a doctor, a lawyer, or some other job that other people have told them they should pursue that they don't realize they would enjoy being an artist and they'd actually be really, really good at it. So I want you to write down a list of what you do over the course of a week. Just keep a journal and write down what you do. Write down your hobbies, write down the things that you used to do but you stopped for some reason even though you really enjoyed it. And you're going to start seeing basically a personality profile, which is going to reflect sort of like when you take a personality quiz, right? And it tells you, oh, this is what career you would be really good at. If you take the time to write what you do every day, write down your interests, you are going to create your own personality profile, and it's going to tell you how you want to live your life. It's going to tell you what you need to look for in a career. Let's get the third card. All right, the third card is no. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. Now, earlier we got the jump in card, which says that you need to try things, try new things, just throw yourself into something. That's not saying don't do it. This no card is telling you not to make any life-altering decisions where you make a decision and then you never change it. You really need to experiment, you need to research, you need to figure out how you truly feel before you make any final decisions, because I think you may need to compare things. If you are young or if there are job fairs in your area, it may really benefit you to go to those, to ask people in your community that do the jobs that you may be interested in what it is actually like, what they're paid, what their day-to-day experience is. For some of you, you may want to take multiple classes in college to figure out which one you like best. You may just want to do research online, maybe watching like a day in the life of like certain careers to see what they're like, but take some time, explore, and let yourself discover what the universe is telling you you need to discover about your best career. So it's looking really promising, pile one. I definitely think that your main goal is to find what you're passionate about, what you really like. Keep that in mind. You may be concerned about how much you're going to be paid. I'm not seeing anything suggesting that you're going to be poor. I am just seeing a preoccupation with finding a job that you're going to enjoy going to. So let's figure out some ways that you'll be able to manifest that a little bit better. I'm going to pull 2 cards from the Spellcasting Oracle Cards deck just to figure out how you can manifest this reveal a little bit better. Things you need to know, stuff like that. All right, your first card is reconciliation. I think that you may have pushed away from something in your past. Maybe you were told it wasn't good for a career. Maybe you got too busy. You need to revisit things. You may also need to reconcile with other people or your opinions on something. it definitely seems as if there is some sort of break in your past and it's causing you pain. It's really hurting your heart. You may even have a little bit of trauma. This often happens with people where they have a passion career, but because of what other people say, they push it aside and do like a reasonable career. And you should pick a career that you are going to be able to meet all your needs, but you need to make sure that the career that you pick is one that you would enjoy. And I think there is some sort of disconnect here where what you want has been really, really ignored, and you need to revisit that, and you need to be able to forgive yourself for your past decisions. It may not all be your fault, but even if it is, forgive yourself, because you are going to make your life better starting today, starting right now. Your future is so bright, so positive, so amazing, and your career is going to bring you joy and fulfillment. Let's get the second card for this deck. Your second card is commitment. So I see this card basically saying that once you do make a decision about your career, you need to make a commitment to it. Now, this commitment may be a lifelong commitment. It may just be a commitment until you figure out that you really want to do it. But once you make a decision, once you've done your research and you're ready to make your decision, I want you to make a true commitment to this career. You may even want to do a ritual. It could be spiritual to where you're like doing like a magical spell, or you're writing a journal entry with like magical qualities to it. It could just be a party with your friends and family. It could be a letter to yourself saying this is what you're doing, but you need to do something that marks this commitment. That way, a year later, you could say, I made this commitment on this day and I'm sticking to it. Or 20 years from now, you can recognize you made this commitment. It was a specific commitment. So definitely do something to mark the date of when you decided to pursue that career. And I think by making that commitment, you are going to follow through with anything that you need to do, whether it is jumping in and trying to figure out if it's truly yours, because obviously not every day at work is going to be fun. There are going to be hard days, but if you stay committed, you're going to be able to work through the hard days until you get to that joyful feeling. And also, this commitment will help push you to do whatever training or whatever job hunting that you need to do in order to manifest that. So the last thing I'm going to do is pull one card from the Super Attractor Oracle deck, just as an encouraging message from the universe to end this reading. That way you know how the universe is on your side. Universe, what do you want pile one to know? What do you want pile one to know? All right, your encouraging message is, when I'm grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire. So what the universe is telling you is that something in your life already has immense value. It doesn't just have immense value to the universe, it has immense value to you. It may be related to your career. It could be your family, it could be a hobby, it could be an interest, but you need to hold on to that. And as the universe directs more abundance and helps attract your best career to you, expressing gratitude is going to help you cling on to that wonderful future, because the universe really wants you to be happy. They really want you to pursue your life purpose. Your best career isn't just a personality fit. It's not just a way to make money. It is actually what you were meant to do. It is what the universe wants you to achieve. It is how you can be more whole than you currently are. And I want that for you. The universe wants that for you, and you deserve it. So, pile one, it was great to do this tarot reading with you today. I hope you liked it. I wish you joy and fulfillment in this career that you're reaching for. If you resonated with this reading, be sure to like this video. You can subscribe to this channel for more readings in the future. You can also check the description box for a link to my Ko-Fi to tip me if you really appreciated this reading, and as well as all my socials. Anyway, Pile 1, I hope to see you again. Many blessings. Hello Pile 2, my dog Pile. It is so exciting to have you for this reading. We are going to go ahead and get started with 3 cards from the Light Seers Tarot deck, just to get a general idea of what you should be looking for when it comes to your best career. So universe, what does Pile 2 need to know? What does Pile 2 need to know? Any traits, categories, or specific careers? All right, your first card is the Fool. This is a very optimistic card. This is a very happy card. It is a card of someone who doesn't know a lot but is learning. I also see with this crystal, specifically in this deck, this amethyst crystal, it could be a spiritual card. So this is definitely a card where you're learning something. So for some of you, I think this could be someone in academia. It could also be someone who is, I don't really want to say a spiritual guru, that is exactly what it is, but someone who is always learning about spirituality, always leveling up, and sharing what they learn with other people. So let's get the second card. All right, the second card which popped out is the Three of Wands. This is an exploration card. It's really complementary with the last card. This is an adventurous card. This could be like someone who is into sports. It could be someone who goes to a foreign country. I'm thinking of maybe like someone who teaches their language in another country, someone who works in another country. It can also be someone who is into like commerce, like selling things, stuff like that. But there's definitely some sort of international element when it comes to this card. And also something that you're passionate about. It's not just making money to make money. It is making money in a way that you love. It could also be someone who goes to another country to learn about spirituality. For example, someone who goes to become a meditation teacher and then they come home to teach others what they learn. Let's get the third card. Your third card is the Devil. So when I see this card, to me it is someone who tempts others. It is a sign of crime. I don't think that you should be a criminal, but the universe thinks that you should know that you would be good at it. And with these other 2 cards, what I am sensing is that the universe wants you to know that you can take risk. These 2 cards are cards of risk taking, and you are going to be safe. You are going to be able to channel risk taking in a way that will really benefit you to have an abundant career. And while I do think that you would be a great criminal, obviously you should not do that. The universe doesn't want you to do that. The universe just wants you to know that you can channel that energy into a positive way, which is definitely these 2 cards. So let's get some more information on the universe about your careers. I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Starseed Oracle deck to figure out what else you need to know. What does Pile 2 need to know about their career and their best career? What does pile 2 need to know? All right, this first card is You're Not Alone, with the wisdom message of isolation, physical connection, community. So your best career is not one where you are working by yourself. Now that doesn't mean you can't work at home or anything like that, but you need to have some sort of connection. You can't just do your work and then anonymously send it somewhere. You need to either have a coworker, you need to work with clients, or you need someone like a mentor or something. You need human connection in order to feel like your work is meaningful somehow. This card could also be a sign that perhaps you should be an astronaut. You may not think that being an astronaut is a social career, but it is a career where someone basically advances science and exploration for their home country and the world. They deal with a lot of people on their day-to-day experience, perhaps hundreds of thousands of people. So that's what I'm sensing here. There's a social element to your career, and it'll actually make you happy. It's not going to make you scared, even if you're introverted. It's really going to just fill your heart with joy. Let's get the next card. All right, your next card is Big Picture Thinking, with the wisdom message of Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. This is definitely a creative card. For some of you, this creativity could be inspiring other people. So for example, like that astronaut earlier, it's not so much that you are creative itself, but that you inspire creativity in others, or you inspire dreams in others. Whatever it is, when it comes to your best career, it really matters. It matters on a personal level to other people. You are inspirational, you're amazing. Something that you're doing has a really big consequence, either to the world at large or to another person. And obviously, when I say like astronaut, perhaps you do something smaller. Perhaps you're an author. This is actually a really good example of how to explain what's going on in these cards. For some of you, you may be introverted, and so you may pick a career where you work at home, but what you're creating is for other people. There's a social element here. And some authors meet with fans, or they communicate with fans, or they have some sort of outreach. And I do sense that that is really good for you, having some sort of outreach if you're introverted or if you're working at home, because that human connection is actually going to push you to do your best. Let's get the third card from this deck. What else does pile 2 need to know? Inner Earth, with the wisdom message of You'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. So I see a few possible meanings here. For some of you, perhaps you started a career and you figured out it was wrong, or maybe you even love this career but you can't pursue it anymore. Know that you are going to be able to find a new career or a new project that you are going to adore. For others, this is a sign that your career could be dangerous. Being an astronaut is dangerous. Going to a new country can be scary or dangerous. Learning new things. If you're into spirituality, you may be trying spiritual practices, which, while they're not physically dangerous, they can be a little scary. For example, astral projection, working with spirits. Know that whatever you choose to do, however scary it may seem, you're going to be able to handle it. So allow yourself to take those risks. Allow yourself to embrace the devil within you, because you can channel that devil to do amazing things. Especially with that devil card, there's that image of hell, but notice this Inner Earth card is so peaceful. I think that you're able to actually channel the worst parts of yourself, all the things that you consider bad, into something good. You should probably look into something called the shadow self. It is about the things that we repress about ourselves. Here's a really good example. Sometimes people will repress their anger because it is harmful in a lot of situations, but you can actually learn about your aggressive shadow side and then figuring out how to channel that in a positive way. Some people channel their aggression into sports. into healthy competition. A lot of like surgeons, for example, channel their aggression into being better at their job. So whatever you consider to be your weaknesses or the things that you don't like about yourself, you can explore those and figure out how to invert that weakness into a strength. So every part of you is amazing, not because like the bad parts of you are amazing, but because you can take what you learn from those bad parts and use it in a way that really makes the universe bloom. So what I'm seeing so far is you need a career that you're passionate about. You need a career that lets you explore, lets you take risk. It is a career that connects you to other people. It is a career that is either creative or is inspiring to others. And it's a career that you take on the biggest challenges you can imagine and you succeed. So let's pull 3 cards from the Work Your Light Oracle deck to figure out what else you may need to know. Universe, what does pile 2 need to know? What does pile 2 need to know? This card popped out, which I consider significant. So this card is Trust the Niggle, with the wisdom message of what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you. So the universe is saying that they've already sent you a message, or you already had some sort of realization about what your best career is, and you need to listen to that message. It may take you some time to parse it apart, to understand it, but what will really help you is to maybe do some journaling or some guided meditations to really pick apart what it is, what that message is, and it's going to reveal things about yourself. And if you're having trouble figuring out what that is, know that as you do any sort of explorative activity, any sort of like career development, it's going to like surge in you like a wave, and it's going to become more and more clear over time. So even if this feeling isn't clear to you yet, it is going to be clear to you soon. So just trust the universe sent you a message and trust that you are going to understand it. It's going to be like a eureka moment when you do. All right, your second card from this deck is the Great Gathering, with the wisdom message of it's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. So wow, pile 2. Earlier I pulled a card about social connection and community, and this happened again, but in a more spiritual way. So I think you're going to be connected to other people. You're going to feel like you have a shared purpose. This happens in a lot of careers. For example, if someone were to go teach English in South Korea, for example, they may share like interest in K-dramas and K-pop, or in teaching English or travel. You are going to find people that share interests with you, that share life purposes with you, and getting to know them, even if you don't work with them directly, is going to really boost your self-confidence. It's going to boost your sense of community, because it's not just the people that you're working with, it's people that are connected to the industry that you're in. You're going to meet a lot of wonderful people. It's actually really exciting. I'm really looking forward to this. You are going to make some wonderful friends. Let's find what else you need to know. All right, the third card here is Deep Replenishment, Retreat, Rest, Be Held. So I do sense that your career will have challenges, but in a lot of ways what you're doing is going to either provide long periods of rest, or it's going to be something where even though it's hard, you're going to feel really rested by it. You're going to feel really fulfilled. You're not going to feel exhausted. You're not going to feel burnt out. So for some of you, you're going to have long periods of rest. Teachers sometimes get like a month or 2 off. Sometimes perhaps to travel, or you might work in a career where you only work a few hours a day. Some of you are going to work really hard. For example, astronauts sometimes work for 7 or 8 months in a row, sometimes longer, but then they have long periods of rest. Or sometimes people just love what they do, and even though it's really, really hard, it's like they're not working. So know that whatever you end up doing, you are never going to feel as if it's so hard that you have to quit. You're going to be able to moderate your energy, and you're going to be able to pursue it either for many years or for the rest of your life. And that's pretty exciting, especially since you're going to be meeting so many people and you're going to have so many friends from this career. So really exciting, really fun, definitely a passion career that I'm seeing, but also a career that's really enjoyable. It's possibly a career that is like everybody's dream career, but you're going to make it happen. You're going to manifest it. So I'm going to pull 2 cards from the Spellcaster Oracle on how you can best manifest this career. So universe, what does pile 2 need to know to manifest this career? What does pile 2 need to know? How can they manifest this career? All right, your first card is blessings. So I think the universe is definitely going to send blessings your way. You're probably going to work hard to get into your best career, but in some sense, you are going to feel as if the universe gives it to you, or as if you catch a lucky break. So that's actually really good. You're going to experience just good luck. So it's okay to take a risk and apply for something even if you don't feel like you qualify, because I think the universe is going to help you manifest that even if you're not quite ready, like academically or with enough work experience. They're going to try to make an opening for you. Let's get the next card. What does pile 2 need to know? So, life purpose. So I think some of you from this spread may have assumed that the career that I'm talking about is a temporary career where you don't feel like it's something you're going to do for the rest of your life. But the universe is saying that you need to think about your life purpose. Now, for some of you, you are going to have multiple careers, but they're all going to be related somehow. So let's use an example. Let's say someone graduates from college with a degree in English, and they decide to go to South Korea to teach English. And they do that for 5 or 10 years. And then they could return to the States or their home country and teach English in that country, or teach immigrants to their home country how to speak their language. They could also stay in South Korea, maybe create content on YouTube, but somehow what they're doing is always connected. Even if they're very different careers, you can sense that it's connected, that it is the natural progression of what they were doing. So know that even if your career is going to change 5 or 10 years from now, it's still going to be connected. Like, what you learn on the job is going to help you. And for some of you, you are going to have the same career for the rest of your life, and that's going to be just as exciting. So definitely be aware that with these 2 cards, I'm not so much sensing that you need to do something specific to manifest your best career. It really kind of seems like the universe is trying to push you into it. And perhaps that's the reason why the universe sent you a message, and it's trying to get you to listen to that message. Perhaps it is your lucky break, or perhaps it is the universe telling you that there is a path forward and they just want you to walk on it, because you're going to get what you want. Like, this almost seems inevitable in this pile. So pile 2, the last card that I'm going to pull for you today, is from the Super Attractor Oracle, and we are going to just get an encouraging message from the universe that you need to know. What does pile 2 need to know about their best career? What does pile 2 need to know? All right, this message is: my true safety lies in my capacity to align with the love of the universe. So I know sometimes people feel that their destiny is one of doom and gloom, but the universe has a bright future for you. The universe loves you. The universe wants you to be happy and fulfilled. And one way that you are going to be fulfilled is through your life purpose, is through your best career. And the universe is doing whatever they can for you to embrace that. And if you choose to embrace that, you are definitely going to attract that best career into your life. So it's really exciting, actually. I am really happy for you. It just seems like you have an intensely happy spread. Even if you don't feel like that right now, even if you are going through a hard time, know that that is going to end. And I think for some of you, it's going to end very, very soon, because the universe is trying to bless you. For some of you, those blessings are going to happen a little bit later, perhaps after you do your education or make a major life change. But for everyone in this pile, this wonderful future, this wonderful career is definitely coming your way. So pile 2, if you like this reading, be sure to like the video down below and subscribe for more videos in the future. You can also check the description for a link to my Ko-Fi where you can tip if you really appreciated this reading, as well as links to all my socials. Pile 2, I'm so excited for you. I wish you joy and fulfillment in your career, and I can't wait to see you again. Many blessings. Hello pile 3, my goat pile. I am so excited to do your career reading today. Let's go ahead and get started by pulling 3 cards from the Light Seers Tarot deck, just to figure out if there are any traits, categories, or specific careers that you need to be aware of. Universe, what does pile 3 need to know? What does pile 3 need to know? What needs to be known? Your first card is the Knight of Swords. This is an intellectual card. This is also a risk-taking card. So I can see this as someone who is researching a new field. It could be someone who is doing something unpopular. It can also be someone with a very sharp wit or very intelligent. So I definitely get a sense of academia, research, something along those lines. It could also be a writer, a blogger, a journalist, something like that. What are some other things pile 3 needs to know? Okay, your next card is the Star. This is a magical card. This is a fated card. This could be a sign that for some of you, you should do something spiritual or religious. This can be traditionally religious, such as being a Catholic priest or being an imam. It can also be something that's a bit more new age, like tarot reading. You could also be an astrologer, or maybe sell candles or have some sort of like occult thing. It could also be something dealing with optimism or hope. You could be a therapist. You could be someone who is providing hope for other people, something along those lines. It could also, I think, for some of you, be an indication, because this is a card of fate, like continuing a family business. Like you were born into a family and you're fated to continue this business. Now that doesn't mean that you can't change the business to reflect some of your own interests and to evolve to a new era, but for some of you it does mean continuing what your family did before you. What else does pile 3 need to know? What else does pile 3 need to know? Your third card is the Eight of Cups. This is a card of journeys and leaving something behind. I think for some of you, you may be someone who travels for a living, like a travel blogger. You could also be someone like maybe a photographer who photographs animals, something along those lines. But overall, pile 3, what I am noticing is that your best career is something with a little bit of adventure or really relying on fate. It's definitely something where you are hoping for the best. There's no guarantee that the best thing is going to happen, but you are going to put your faith in the universe to help you manifest a beautiful and bright future. I also sense that you may be very intuitive. You may be able to see things that other people can't see, and that is really going to benefit you in some way. So let's go ahead and pull some cards from the Starseed Oracle deck. I'm going to pull 3 cards from that deck just to figure out anything else that you may need to know about your best career. Universe, what does pile 3 need to know? What does pile 3 need to know? What does pile 3 need to know? All right, your first card is Loosen Your Grip with the wisdom message of coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. So I think you've had a bit of a hard life. Some of you may have had problems with addiction. It could be drugs, it could be overeating, it could be anxiety. For some of you, it could be trauma. It could be just that you were overwhelmed, but I do sense that your storied past is making it difficult for you to accept your best career. You're having obstacles and blockages that are not letting you see the optimism that you deserve when it comes to your best career. And what the universe is asking you to do is to just let them in. If you're traditionally religious, definitely connect with that religion. Or you can just connect to the universe through spiritual practices, guided meditation, or meditation in general, astrology, tarot, crystals, whatever is going to help you get to a place where you can raise your vibrations and feel connected to the universe. Because if you do that, you are going to bring out your intuition, you're going to see the world in a better way, and you are really going to be able to connect with your best career. Some of you, you may already know what your best career is, you're just resisting it. This is especially true for those of you who may be inheriting a family business or following in their footsteps, but for some of you, there's no one in your family who's done this before. Maybe it seems very alien to you and you just don't know how you can accept it. That is what spirituality is going to help you do. It's going to be able to help you accept your life purpose, your best career, and manifest your best life. So let's get to your next card. What does pile 3 need to know? What does pile 3 need to know? Your next card is Double Mission. This has the wisdom message of Lightworker Starseed. Serve the world by being you. So there is something really amazing within you. For some of you who have had really difficult past, you're going to be able to use what you learned to help other people. But even for those of you who've had a relatively happy past, you're just feeling like you have obstacles now, there's still some sort of light within you and you're able to use that. So your career isn't just a way to make money. It isn't just a way for you to have fun and enjoy yourself. And it's not even just your life purpose. It's also something the universe is trying to achieve through you. The universe gave you a gift, and some of your gifts include clarity, the ability to see what other people don't see, this intuition. And if you really embrace that, you are going to be surprised by what wonderful changes you are going to enact in the world. You have power, and the universe wants you to embrace that power. Let's get to your third card. Your third card in this deck is a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. So it seems like the universe is already trying to put things into place to help you manifest your best career. It may not feel like that to you right now. Some of you are sensing that probably something is up, but I want you to know that the universe is doing something in the background. They're trying to push things into place, and you're going to start feeling things get easier. You're going to find it easier to fall into your best career, and this is going to be uplifting for you. It's going to help you let your light, your inner light shine and help you be the light worker you were meant to be. And what you need to do, if you don't know what your best career is yet, if you're really struggling to identify it, even with this spread that you just received, know that if you just have the intention of finding your best career, of being that light worker, it's going to happen. And for those of you who already are starting to formulate an idea, be committed to that vision, because it is going to come true. You are going to succeed. There are just wonderful things ahead for you. So now I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Work Your Light Oracle deck for basically some energy for you to embrace to manifest your best career. So universe, what does pile 3 need to know? What does pile 3 need to know? What does pile 3 need to know? I feel like I need to shuffle a few more times. All right, your first card is transformation. The wisdom message is things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. So some of you are going to end up in your career right away, and others are going to basically need to take a break. You need to tend to your needs, and that's fine. But know that who you are today is not going to be who you are 3 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. You are just going to have your light shine brighter and brighter as time goes on. And that's because you're going to be able to heal. You're going to be able to embrace who you are. You are going to be able to bring this into being. And this is really exciting for you. You may not feel like you are fully yourself yet. And if you do, you haven't fully discovered everything yet. But this is just a wonderful energy. There's a lot for you to experience. And I want to make sure that you know that you have permission to take breaks, that you have the permission to do self-care, because that's going to help you raise your energy and live the life that you were meant to live and really embrace your best career. So definitely pursue self-care. And self-care isn't just buying things, it's resting your soul. It's letting your light recharge, because I think your battery sometimes, your personal battery, drains all the way and you need to recharge. Consider this your permission. Let's get to your second card here. All right, your second card from this deck is Anna, grandmother of Jesus. This is the wisdom message of seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. I love this card for you as a light worker. I think like Anna in the Bible, maybe she's not really there. I'm not a Christian, so I'm not certain, but she's basically, if there was a Messiah, the grandmother of the Messiah would be important, because without her, this person wouldn't exist. And I see this with your light work. Your light work is going to have echoes and changes that echo across generations. Like, it's going to do things that you and the people that you help won't experience in this lifetime, but you're just going to help a lot more people than you realize. And I want you to know that what you're doing is amazing. What you're going to do is going to be even more amazing, and there's just going to be a lot of positive changes. The universe put you in your position because it's the destiny of the universe for you to realize this. You are manifesting part of the universe's divine plan, and you have an important part to play. You are shining light in the universe. So that's a really exciting mission. Know that you're important. Let's get the third card. Ooh, that card popped out. That means it's significant. So this card is share your voice with the wisdom message of come out of the cave, persecution, expression. So when I see this card, I think of Plato's cave and the allegory where people are stuck in darkness, but they see the shadows of reality on the cave wall that exists behind them. And if they were to leave the cave, they would see that the shadows are something greater than they realize. So your light is going to help awaken people to a greater reality. And so you need to speak up. You need to be yourself, because yourself is a light worker. Yourself is going to change the world. And you may think that your personality doesn't matter, that work is just about going to work, doing something, and coming home, but who you are is important. For some of you, you're going to be some sort of creative, especially if you're a writer. What you write is going to change minds. It's going to help people see what's possible. And that's really, really exciting for you. So know that your opinions matter, that how you educate people matter, because you shine light in the world. You're helping raise the general consciousness, and that's really, really important. So what I'm going to do now is pull 2 cards from the Spellcasting Oracle Cards deck to help you manifest this bright and beautiful future. It's a really exciting future, actually. I think the other spreads are a bit more fun oriented, and it's not that I don't think your career won't be fun, but I really sense that because you're a light worker, what you're doing, like, you had to be born in this time and place, because what you're going to achieve has to be achieved. Like, it's not just an option, it has to happen. The universe really needs you. So know that you are significant. And I know that may seem like a heavy responsibility, and that responsibility may take some different forms. For example, if you're a writer, you may not feel like you're saving lives, but you are saving minds. If you are taking over a family business, you may think, oh, well, who cares if I take over my family's restaurant, or if I follow my parents' footsteps to become a teacher? I'm not really changing anything. But remember how I said with this Anna, grandmother of Jesus, that you are seeding the light and doing things that are going to have effects over future generations. If you are pursuing a career that comes from like a family history, you are creating and maintaining an important tradition. Something in the future, something beyond your life is going to happen, which is very significant, because you're significant. If you don't pursue it, it's not going to happen. So yes, it definitely seems that you matter, that what you're doing is important. And I want you to realize that that is actually really kind of awesome. Don't be overwhelmed by that responsibility. I know you can handle it. So let's pull some cards to figure out how you can handle it, how you can manifest it. So universe, how can pile 3 manifest this future and handle this future? Specifically, actually, let's figure out how they can handle this future, because I want pile 3 to know that they can do this. How can pile 3 handle their future? How can pile 3 handle their future? Okay. What does pile 3 need to know? All right, your first card is Spirit Guide. So especially because you're a light worker and you are working in conjunction with the universe, I think having a strong relationship with your spirit guides is important. Some people know the name of their spirit guides, they know what they look like, they're able to see them in the world. Other people just have like a general connection with their spirit guides. I'm more like that. And they talk to their spirit guides, maybe through guided meditations, maybe through automatic journaling. And it may not seem as personal, but it's still significant. And whatever way you decide to pursue connecting with your spirit guides is really going to help you to to really pursue this life path, this best career, because I think you do need that more direct help from the universe. You don't want to just wait for events to happen and to use your intuition. I do think your intuition is strong, but I think having assistance with your spirit guides is going to help you cope better. You need a spiritual friend. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to connect with your spiritual friends, because your spirit guides, they have your back. All right, your next card is life purpose. So yes, your career is your life purpose. That's not to say that there aren't other things in life you're not meant to do, or that you're meant to do. Life purpose is pretty complex. Somebody can be meant to pursue a certain career, fall in love with a certain person, maybe have a certain hobby. But what I want you to know, what the universe wants you to know, is that your career is your life purpose. It's also the life purpose of existence. So I kind of see that mostly for this card. Because your best career is supposed to happen, because it's significant, a lot of things are going to fall in place for you. Now, it's not always going to be easy, but I do sense that the universe is going to try to make it feel as if there's less friction. It may take a while to get to that point, but once it does, it's going to feel really smooth sailing. It's going to feel almost like a second skin. So pile 3, know that because this was meant to be, it's going to feel like it was meant to be. You're not going to have to fight all the time to keep this career in place. So let's end with one card from the Super Attractor Oracle deck, which is an encouraging message from the universe that the universe thinks you need to know before we end out on this reading. So, universe, what does pile 3 need to know going into this best career? What does pile 3 need to know? What does pile 3 need to know? All right, your encouraging message is I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. So your mind is probably really noisy. You probably have a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, and it can get overwhelming sometimes. The universe wants to let you know that meditation is going to really help you. Meditation takes many different forms. Some people do the traditional meditation where you hum and do all the oohs and ums. Other people use guided meditations. That's my favorite type. Some people listen to music. Some people read. Some people say affirmations. Other people exercise. But what I want you to do is figure out a practice that is going to help you clear your mind, and that's going to give you spiritual rest, because I do think that your best career, because it has so much spiritual significance, you're going to feel heavy sometimes in a spiritual sense. And this meditation practice, even if it's just a few minutes each day, is going to help restore you. It's going to help replenish you. So definitely make sure that you do that. And I think you're also going to feel the presence of your spirit guides when you do that. You're going to almost feel like they're patting you on the back, that they're giving you a hug, and it's going to be really reassuring. So definitely make sure that you have a meditation practice. It's going to be very rewarding. Now, pile 3, I really loved your reading. It seems like you're an important person, and I really look forward to seeing how you positively change the universe. This is just an amazing spread, and I hope you're as excited for it as I am. Pile 3, if you resonated with this reading, be sure to like the video down below. You can also subscribe for more videos in the future. Check the description of this video for links to my socials and a link to my Ko-Fi if you would like to tip me as an appreciation for this reading. Anyway, pile 3, I really love this reading. I wish you joy in joy and fulfillment in your career. And I just want to let you know, I bless you because you are just an amazing person. I hope to see you again. Hello, pile 4, my donkey pile. I am so glad that you are here today. Let's figure out what your best career is. The first thing I'm going to do is pull 3 cards from the Light Seers Tarot deck just to get an idea of any traits, categories, or specific careers that would be a good fit for you. So universe, what does pile 4 need to know? What does pile 4 need to know? Your first card is the 2 of Swords. This is a card of not being able to make decisions, but in this sense, it is a card of intuition. I think you are going to be someone who relies on their intuition to learn things. Now, this could be a sign of a spiritual career, but I'm kind of getting the sense that for you, this intuition is applied less in a spiritual way and more in a physical way. And what I mean is in the physical material world, like journalism, detective work, using your intuition to make things happen. Teachers use their intuition, any social career uses intuition, or problem solving, such as in academia, research, but it definitely seems as if using your intuition, using your mind to come up with solutions when the solutions aren't clear is really important. So you're probably a very intelligent person, a very educated person, someone who is very wise, something along those lines. You're really effective in some manner. So let's get the next card. And I just got the sense that for some of you, you may be working with animals actually. Because animals often, people need to use their intuition in order to understand animals. What does pile 4 need to know? What does pile 4 need to know? All right, your second card is the 6 of Pentacles. This is a card of giving or debt, but in this sense, it is an exchange. So for some of you, this could be a sign that you are working on the stock market. It could be a sign that you work for like a nonprofit. It could also be a sign that you are working in retail. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be a cashier, but for some of you, having your own store, either like a physical store or an online store, would be very rewarding for you. And that's because exchanging energy, exchanging money, I think you would really benefit from that in some way. Let's get the third card. Oop, this card popped out. And this card is the Knight of Wands. So my first impression when I saw this card is music. So for some of you, this is a sign that you may be a musician or you may be in a career related to music. For example, some people help musicians, they support musicians, or they even like provide commentary on music or create memes or funny things that they put on the internet and it makes them money because they're creating content. But this card, this Knight of Wands card, it's also a very passionate energy. It could be a sign of some other artistic element, but I really do sense for most of you it's related to music or some sort of other creative element. But I'm getting like a strong music element here, even though there are other meanings to this card. I think that is a sign that for someone who is watching this reading, if you think that you should do a music career, this is a confirmation. So, and it's a lot easier to pursue a music career today than it was before, just because of all the platforms out there. Anyway, I'm definitely sensing not so much a common theme between all these cards. So it could be that a lot of people who chose this pile have a lot of different life experiences and a lot of different options. But I do sense a social element. I do sense almost like an audience element. It's kind of difficult to see. Let's pull some more cards because I'm thinking there might be some multiple energies here, and we're going to find that out the more cards I pull. So this is actually out of order. A card from a different deck just fell out on the floor, and I'm going to take that as a sign from the universe. And this is Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. I think the common theme that is working with all these cards, with this entire pile, is that you have like a foundation effect. You may be a tastemaker. You may be someone who inspires people. You may be setting the tone for people that come after you. Some of you may be very popular in the future. You may be someone who is important in the future, but regardless of who you are, know that you were meant to do your career. Your best career isn't just a personality fit, it's something you were meant to do. So let's pull 3 cards from the Starseed Oracle deck to figure out what else you need to know. Let's figure out what else you need to know. All right, your first card in this deck is Whale and Orca Elders. Okay, what did I say about some of you perhaps working with animals? Another confirmation. So this wisdom message is share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Oh my God. Pile 4, a confirmation of animals and a confirmation of music. But let's focus on sharing your song and diving deep. This is about personal expression, and this is also about expertise. So I do think for all of you actually, you want to be a master of whatever you're doing. You don't just want to clock in and do your job well. You want to do your job in an amazing way. You want to master your career. You want to reach the heights of your career. You're not going to be satisfied with basically just earning your paycheck. You want to change things. You want to really affect things in a powerful way. Maybe that's the reason why some of you are going to be popular or famous in the future, just because you're the best. But let's get the second card. All right. The second card is Lost Lands with the wisdom message of soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. So my first impression when I saw this card was Atlantis in past lives. I think some of you may have done a similar career in your past life, so it's going to feel very familiar. It's going to feel as if you're repeating something, or if you're finishing something. Perhaps some of you died prematurely, and this life is giving you a chance to try that career again, to finish out your life purpose. So I definitely think for some of you, a past life regression would be beneficial. It would help you in some way. So definitely look into doing that. There are professionals who do past life regressions. There are also meditations on YouTube that you can try, but I do think for some of you, doing a past life regression is going to be helpful. If you already know about your past lives, you can use that to help inform you about your best career. So let's get to the third card in this deck. All right, the third card is We the Hathors with the wisdom message of deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. I'm getting some different things here, so not everything I say is going to resonate with everyone in this pile. Take what resonates with you. So We the Hathors, my impression is that you are part of a greater collective. that each one in that collective is working to achieve something. Others, you're part of some sort of, you're probably a star seed, or you have like a spiritual family and your best career is somehow connected to that. And others, it seems like your birth started something, like your birth initiated something, or some universal plan that is going to happen. And I don't think you're going to know the answer to this right away. I don't want you to feel as if you see this card and you have to go on this amazing journey. I think the way you live your life is going to reveal that for you. So just know that with this card, it seems like something spiritual is happening, something exciting, something positive, and you're going to be a witness to that over your lifetime. So let's go ahead and pull 3 more cards from the Work Your Light Oracle deck, just to see what else you need to know. Universe, what does pile 4 need to know? Overall, pile 4, I know there's like very different careers in your first 3 cards, but I just get this weird sense of clarity and precision with your spread. Keep that in mind. It's perhaps once you know what you're meant to do, you're really going to know what you are meant to do, and you aren't going to want to be sidetracked, be distracted. This kind of makes me think of the musician who wants to be like a particular type of musician, but like what they want to sing isn't in trend anymore, but they keep pursuing it anyway. And just because they are really good at it, they are able to revive that genre or something like that. That's what I'm getting the sense. Once you start pursuing your best career, amazing things are going to happen because you yourself are just going to be great at it. So let's find out some more. What else does pile 4 need to know? All right, your next card is Soul Family. Just like before with the We the Hathors, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. I do think pile 4, I don't want to like prescribe a particular spiritual practice that you should do, but it definitely seems as if there are connections, spiritual connections, that once you explore them is going to really open up the world for you. So I'm not going to be specific on it, but know that as you explore your spirituality, as you get in touch with your spirituality, you are probably going to meet people, perhaps physical people, perhaps spiritual people, and it's going to change your perspective. You're going to feel connected in a way that you didn't before. Something that I'm thinking about, especially because the music element in this spread is so high, is some musicians sometimes feel connected to musicians that have already died that they've never met, just because they influence their work so much. That could be part of what is going on here. Let's get the next card. Feels like a card wants to jump out. Okay, universe, I'm going to shuffle this deck 3 cards. Make sure the last card is the one that you mean. We're going to be very precise here. All right. Your next card is Inner Temple with the wisdom message of devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. So there's definitely a creative element here, but that's not what I'm mainly seeing in your spread. I'm getting the sense that you need to look within in order to really benefit from your career. For example, those of you who have the more intuitive career, perhaps detective work, using your intuition, getting in touch with your inner temple is going to help you learn to trust your intuition, especially when dealing with animals. You may feel as if you are also that animal. For those of you who are working in retail or doing some sort of exchange work, for example, you may be having business partners and you're going to have to look within to ask yourself if you can trust this person. And obviously, if you are a musician, you're going to really need to get in touch with your heart in order to write amazing music, because you write with your heart way more than your mind when you write songs, when you sing songs, and definitely get in touch with that part of yourself. Let's get the third card. And something else I thought of, especially with that precise feeling that I was feeling earlier, is that music is math. And perhaps it's the reason why intuition seems so appropriate for your spread, is that even though something may not seem like it's logical, it feels logical, and it is logical once you put it on paper. So when you hear a love song, it may seem like this mushy gushy stuff, but that song has rules. That song has like a layout, and when you put it on paper, it becomes math, right? So the precision, even though it may not seem precise because some of you are dealing with music or you're dealing with your intuition, it is precise. It is meant to be. So let's get to the third card, the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? So I think some of you in this spread are clinging onto your past, clinging onto trauma, clinging onto some ideas that aren't serving you. Now, the things that you're clinging to may be small and petty, or it could be something really big. It could be like a terrible experience you had. It could be a destructive thought that is warping your mind, but you really need to investigate that. And there are many ways that you can do this. One of them is shadow work, figuring out what you're repressing. Journaling is good. Guided meditations are great. Sometimes it helps to speak to a therapist. But for the more creative ones for you, especially the musicians, or if you're like doing some sort of creative work, sometimes creating helps reveal things that you didn't know were there. So I definitely want you all to, everyone who tried this pile, consider pursuing a creative hobby, even if it's not something you do forever, because I think you're going to learn something about yourself when you do that. Because when you create something, you're reflecting a part of yourself into that creation. So now what I'm going to do is pull 2 cards from the Spellcasting Oracle card deck to see how you can manifest your best career. Universe, what do you want pile 4 to know about manifesting their best career? What does pile 4 need to know? All right, the first card is fertility. And obviously this could mean children. Perhaps some of you are even stay-at-home parents. That's possible. But what I'm really sensing with this fertility is actually like this inner creativity, this inner ability to make things. I want you to understand that within you, you have the ability to manifest amazing things, especially if you're creative, especially if you're a musician. If you are in retail or you are making some exchanges, I want you to know that you have the ability to be very abundant. And if you are working in an intuitive field, or perhaps if you are raising animals, you are going to be able to. Here's a good example. Let's say that you are working with endangered animals and it's really hard to raise their population. This fertility card could be a sign that you have the ability to increase their numbers, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, you are a very fertile person not necessarily in the child making sense, but the ability of manifesting and creating things. So understand that means that you already have that ability within you. You just need to apply it to an opportunity. So let's get the next card. What does pile 4 need to know? What does pile 4 need to know? All right, this card is truth. With the mirror, I'm kind of getting the sense of scrying or divination. I think that you may see echoes of your best career in some sort of divination method, such as astrology. Looking into your natal chart would be really helpful. You don't need to be an astrologer to see this. There are like generators online that will summarize your chart. Look into the comments of this, not the comments, the description of this video, and I'm going to link you to an astrological natal chart generator. That way you can read that. And I think once you see that your best career has been divined for you, you're going to see that you have permission to follow it, because I think some of you may feel like you're not worthy for this career. You may feel that it's not meant to be, but that is just doubt talking from societal influences. You were meant to do this. Now, I also think that there are multiple careers that a person can do, and while your best career is a best career, definitely notice that you may learn things from your natal chart that you can't take back. So if you do look into your natal chart, make sure that you are emotionally ready for it, because your best career is going to look pretty obvious as soon as you read that interpretation. Now, you can apply things from your chart to different careers. Just because you have a best career doesn't mean that you have to do that. Some people will pick a career just because it makes more money, maybe because they have kids and they want to raise their kids in a comfortable environment. Other people may not be able to pursue their best career because there are economic conditions in their home country. There could be a whole bunch of reasons, but do know that if you decide to look at your astrological chart, it will be revealing and it'll feel very final to you. It'll feel very precise. So definitely check that natal chart if you want to know an amazing truth about yourself. So what I'm going to do is end on one card from the Super Attractor Oracle deck. It's an encouraging message from the universe thinks you need to hear. So, universe, what does pile 4 need to know? What does pile 4 need to know? What does pile 4 need to know? All right, your message is, I can decide today to recalibrate my energy and commit to love and joy. So pile 4, your life can be wonderful. You're able to make the decision today to use your efforts to manifest a brighter future for yourself, to manifest an amazing career. And I want you to know that your efforts are going to be rewarded. For some of you, the journey may be long and hard. Those of you who are choosing music, for example, or some other creative endeavor, it's often not instant, but I want you to know that the journey is actually pretty exciting. No matter what career you pick, you're going to learn things about yourself. You're going to get better and better. You're going to become like a master of what you're doing, and you're going to be really impressed with yourself and by what you achieve. It's just going to be really, really exciting. And I really do look forward to that for you. You're really going to enjoy the journey. So pile 4, you have an amazing spread. It seems like whatever career you end up pursuing, whether it's an intuitive career, especially with animals, something in retail or stocks or music or creativity, you're going to really enjoy. You're going to love the experience. Pile 4, If you resonated with this reading, be sure to like the video. You can also subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. Check the description of this video for links to my socials and a link to my Ko-Fi to tip if you really appreciated this reading, and also a link to that astrological natal chart generator. Pile 4, I wish you the best. I wish you joy and fulfillment, and I hope to see you again. Many blessings.